Last time we learned how to use LINQ. Today we learn how to use it properly. First, throws an exception. Here we have our first active user with the ID, name, age is active equal to true. So here the first active user returns a result and it's displayed in the terminal part. For the first line using the first method, we got our result displayed on the terminal. But for the second, it's null, since we have no admin name user. One thing you need to keep in mind when working with the first or default methods, that you need to use it when absence is an error, and use first or default when absence is expected. In this example, we have two users. For example, if we want to get the user which ID equal to 1, we need to use single. We can use a lambda expression, user with ID equal to 1. Let's save and let's run. On the terminal, we have only one result returned by the code. We use single to retrieve a user by ID. Unlike first, single enforces that exactly one element matches the condition. If no element match or we have more than one element match, it throws an exception. If throwing an exception is an expected behavior, we can use the SingleOrDefault. So the syntax is very simple. We use users.SingleOrDefault. We can use a lambda expression equal 99, and we can use the dump. Let's save and run the test. For the first line, the code returns a user with an ID equal to 1 and an email starts with Alice. But for the second one, there is no match, but there is a null. So using the SingleOrDefault doesn't throw an exception because the null is an expected value. One last example we need to see before moving on working with the last. So let's duplicate this line. And let's say when ID equal to 1, let's save and let's run. An exception was thrown because single does not tolerate ambiguity. Once you want to use single, you need to have at least one element that match. If there is more than one element match, an exception will be thrown. And that was the last method of element operators. But one thing you need to keep in mind before moving to work with conversion, that use first when you need one and use single when there must be only one. Here we have created for users Alice, Bob, Charlie, and we have duplicated Bob. Now let's start with the first method, toList. We create a new var, user list equal users dot where we can use a lambda expression with for example user ID greater than 1, and on the end we make toList, and we can use the dump to show the result on the terminal in a fancy way. We save and we run the result. So in the terminal part we can see the result. The result is a list of users that contains 3 users, Bob, Charlie, and Bob duplicate, and the common point that all the IDs greater than 2. So the result of toList is a new list of users. Now let's see the second method of the list, toArray. So we can comment this part, and we can make another variable. We call it user array. We can use the same one. The result is an array of 3 elements with an index from 0 to 2, and we have the first user, Bob, Charlie, and Bob duplicate. So the result of toArray is an array of 3 users. Now let's make an example for the third method, toDictionary. We start by a new var equal users. We can use a lambda expression less than equal to 3, and we can use toDictionary method. And we need, for the dictionary, we need to set up the key. So the key is going to be the ID, and for the value it's going to be the name. And now we can use the dump method to display all. So we can say toDictionary result. Let's save and hit .NET Run. We have an exception. An item with the same key has already been added. We have 2 elements, Bob and Bob duplicate, with the same ID. So once we want to add 2 elements to the dictionary with the same ID, the method will throw an exception that we cannot have 2 elements with the same ID. So be careful when working with the dictionary. It's very sensitive to ID duplication and to get hashcode method inherited from the object class. The most important rule that you need to keep in mind when working with lists and dictionaries, that lists allow duplicates and dictionary do not. Now let's talk about the last method, toHashSet. But before we get started, the hashset is a collection that stores unique elements. It uses hashing to ensure that each value appears only once on a list. First, we create a new variable for IDs, for example, ID hashset. And we can use the list users, and we can make a projection with select, and we can use a lambda expression for the users, and this list is going to contain only the IDs. And now toHashSet. toHashSet result. And just before I test, you must know that we have a duplicate value for Bob. Bob and Bob duplicate shares both of them the same ID. So save. Here. On the result here, we can see that we have an hash set of ints. It contains the values 1, 2, and 3. And here we have only one value is displayed for the 2 ID. So the key difference that between hash set and lists, that hash set automatically removes the duplicate values. If multiple users shares the same ID, only one instance will remain on the final collection. Additionally, hash set provides faster lookup performance compared to a list. So when we want to access data, remove them from a list, the best thing you can do is working for hash set because it's better for the performance.